in science and particularly in biology, where we studied life, because biology is the study of life. So life is organized from the cell level to the organ level. So when we are looking at the organization of life, so we start from the cell level, then we look at the tissue level. From the tissue level, then we look at the organ level. And then from the organ level, we look at the system level. And it's from the system level that we now have the organisms. So every organisms have these levels of life. Cell is the basic unit of life. So from the cell, we have the tissue. The tissue is just a combination or group of cells that are specialized in a particular function. And then from the tissue, we have organ. And there are different organs in the body. And from the organ, we now have the systems. We have different systems. So in the body, like digestive system, which caters for digestion of foods, substances in the body. Then we have respiratory systems, which deals with our breathing, and excretory system, which deals with the release of waste outside the body. And then we have the circulatory system. So we want to consider the circulatory system today. Are we online? I need to see our faces. Let me see our faces. Let me know the students that are online. Let me know the students that are online. Yes. Let me know the students that are online. Yeah. Okay. Let all the videos be online. So, this aspect of the class is more, I need to know that you are following. So that's why you cannot afford to be, taking away your videos. Okay. So today, I've introduced the organizations of life. So that's the general heading from which this topic was taken from, organization of life. So I believe you have been taught about cells. So you've been taught about cells, but today we want to consider one of the systems that we have in the body. The word system just means, a group of interconnected parts that perform a particular function. That's a system. So when we talk about the circulatory system is just like a roadway that is connecting all the various organs in the body together. So because when we have group of organs that are performing, certain functions for life, then we have systems. So circulatory system is like a roadway network that connects the various organs of the body. They connect the various organs of the body. So I need us to put this down, and then we are going to take a short introductory video that will introduce us to the circulatory system. So in this class today, we are going to know what a circulatory system is. We are also going to look at the functions of the circulatory system and the composition of the circulatory system, and then the main organ that is at work in circulatory system. So those are the things we want to study in this class. So at the end of this class, you should know what the circulatory system is. You should know the function of the circulatory system. Then you should know the composition of the circulatory system, and then the organ that is involved in the circulatory system. So, can we go? If we are ready, let me know. Are we ready for the class? You are muted. I need your response. Are we ready for the class? Okay. Okay. So let's start with what a circulatory system is. So let's start with what a circulatory system is. I want to rub this off. I will give us the definition of circulatory system, then we will take a short introductory video. So a circulatory system, we start with definition. It's like a roadway network that connects different organs in the body. So that's a circulatory system. So like when you look at your roadway network or road network in a city that connects a whole city together, so also in the human body or in the body of vertebrates or organisms. So we have different roadway network that connect different organs in the body together so that the organs can perform their functions properly. So there are three compositions in the circulatory system. We have looked at what a circulatory system is. So the circulatory system consists of three things. It consists of the heart. So the heart is the organ. It consists of the blood vessels. The blood vessels. And it consists of the blood itself. So these are the three things we have in a circulatory system. So the circulatory system consists of the heart. The heart is the organ that pumps blood around the body. Then we have the blood vessels. So the blood vessels, so they are a network of vessels that carry blood either from the heart or to the heart. And then we have the blood. The blood is the fluid that consists of cells and plasma circulating around the body. So knowing the composition of the circulatory system, which is the heart, the blood vessels, and the blood, so that gives us idea of how the circulatory system works. So we are going to take a short introductory video now to have an idea of the circulatory system. When we come back from the video, then we will look at the functions of the circulatory system and some of the components, things that we need to understand about the heart, the blood vessels, and the blood. Can we take the video now? So we are talking about the blood. Of course, the life of the animal or the organism is in the blood. So let's take the video. The video on circulatory system. Yes. We need the audio. The audio.
Sir, I can't hear anything. I'm sorry, but I still can't hear anything.
Okay. We're working on the audio.
Oh, okay, thank you, sir.
Located slightly left of center in your chest. Your heart is
Okay. So sorry. The audio will come off now.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So
Your heart is a pump. It's a muscular organ about the size of your fist and is located slightly left of center in your chest. Your heart is divided into the right and left side. The division protects oxygen-rich blood from mixing with oxygen-poor blood. Together, your heart and blood vessels comprise your cardiovascular system, which circulates blood and oxygen around your body. In fact, your heart pumps about 5 quarts of blood every minute, and it beats about 100,000 times in one day. That's about 35 million times in a year. Oxygen-poor blood, blue blood, returns to the heart after circulating through your body. The right side of the heart, composed of the right atrium and ventricle, collects and pumps the blood to the lungs through the pulmonary arteries. The lungs refresh the blood with a new supply of oxygen, making it turn red. Oxygen-rich blood, red blood, then enters the left side of the heart, composed of the left atrium and ventricle, and is pumped through the aorta to the body to supply tissues with oxygen. 4 valves within your heart keep your blood moving the right way. The tricuspid, mitral, pulmonary, and aortic valves work like gates on a fence. They open only one way and only when pushed on. Each valve opens and closes once per heartbeat, or about once every second. A beating heart contracts and relaxes. Contraction is called systole, and relaxing is called diastole. During systole, your ventricles contract, forcing blood into the vessels going to your lungs and body, much like ketchup being forced out of a squeeze bottle. The right ventricle contracts a little bit before the left ventricle does. Your ventricles then relax during diastole and are filled with blood coming from the upper chambers, the left and right atria. Then the cycle starts over again. Your heart is nourished by blood too. Blood vessels called coronary arteries extend over the surface of your heart and branch into smaller capillaries. Here you can see just the network of blood vessels that feed your heart with oxygen-rich blood. Your heart also has electrical wiring, which keeps it beating. Electrical impulses begin high in the right atrium and travel through specialized pathways to the ventricles, delivering the signal to pump. The conduction system keeps your heart beating in a coordinated and normal rhythm, which in turn keeps blood circulating. The continuous exchange of oxygen-rich blood with oxygen-poor blood is what keeps you alive.
Pastor, we can't hear you. You are muted. You are muted. Cindy, is it Ronaldo in class?
Sure.
Is it Ronaldo
Yes,
in
sir.
class? Then why are you not on
Yes.
video?
No.
Why are you not on video? You know, share. Immediately follow or sit up and let's see your face. Which will bring your money, you know. At the small freedom, Tebani Ekomachi, everybody, if you're in class, sit up and be in class.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, sir. So from that short video, so
Pastor, hold on. Why
okay,
are you
sir.
not on video?
I just want TV. I don't look presentable.
Which presentable? Will you get out and be which presentable? Who are you? You are who is representable? What take back?
Okay.
Sit up well and be in class.
Sit up properly. Sit up properly. Let's see your face. Okay. So from the short video that we watched. Okay, sir.
Henceforth, you are in this class. You are not properly seated. Set the video and let's see half of you. But the way I'm saying, see me. That's the way I want to see you. Because I'll take you after this class. Go ahead.
Okay. So from that short video, we are introduced to the circulatory system, and the organ of the circulatory system is the human heart, which is the muscular pump. So it's filled with muscles, which are also tissues, and they pump the blood into the body. So the blood in the body, flowing in the body, we have the oxygen-rich blood and the oxygen-poor blood, because the blood carries the oxygen around the body. It transports oxygen around the body to every part that needs it. Don't forget that the circulatory system is a road network that connects different organs of the body, including the respiratory organs, the breathing organs. So the blood pumps, the oxygen-rich blood to the other side of the body that needs it. And the blood, we are going to look at the functions of the circulatory system shortly. Part of it is, apart from transporting oxygen, it also transports different nutrients that the body needs. So from that video, we see the structure of the heart. So the heart consists of blood vessels, which are network of tubes that carry blood around the body. So we have basically 4 of those tubes. We have the arteries and the arterioles. So under the blood vessels, So we have the arteries. So, and then arterioles. So arterioles are smaller vessels. So arteries are bigger vessels. Then we also have the veins and the veins. So the arteries takes blood away from the body. From the heart. While the veins and the veins, they return blood back to the heart. So that's why it's a circulatory system. Whatever goes around comes around. So the arteries and the arterioles, they are the vessels that take blood away. So blood leaves the heart through the arteries and the arterioles, while blood returns back to the heart through the veins and the veins. The veins are smaller vessels, while the veins are larger vessels. So the arteries are larger vessels, the arterioles are smaller vessels. So when we look at the picture of the human heart, can we have that quickly? The picture of the human heart. So looking at the picture of the human heart on your screen, so we see these vessels. We see the arteries and then the arterioles. So they take away blood from the body. So blood leaves from the heart, while the veins, blood returns back to the heart through the veins. And from the short videos we look at, we see that the heart contracts. When it's pumping blood, it's contracting and expanding. So the contraction is called systole, while the expansion is called diastole. And so the heart pumps blood and circulates blood around the body. So you need this picture of the human heart. You need to have the understanding of it, and the various parts of the human heart, which is the organ, the muscular organ that pumps blood around the body. So we have looked at the heart, the blood vessels that are connected to the heart, which are the arteries, the arterioles, the veins, and the veins. Then the content that is being pumped around is the blood. That's the blood. So the blood is a fluid that consists of cells, different cells. So there are different cells in the blood, such as the white blood cells. I want to rub off the board so that I can list some of those components of the blood. Don't mind us, so it is raining in this side. So it's raining everywhere. So we are looking at the blood now. So the blood takes 80% of our body mass. 8% of our body mass. And an healthy average adult, so the blood has about 4.5 liters of blood. 4.5 liters of blood running through him. So when Jesus died for us, all the blood in his body was emptied. Through the beatings, the crown of thorns on his head, the piercing, all the 4.5 liters of blood in his body were emptied. And the scripture says it is in the blood that we have the life. And so that's why that blood is so potent, and the life in it is still speaking today. So that's, by the way, so the body consists of about 4.5 liters and accounts for about 8% of our body mass. So that's for an healthy person, an average healthy person. So in the blood, the component of the blood. So we have the plasma, and we also have the cells that are there. So the plasma consists of solutions of ions, solutions of metabolites. So these are wastes in the body. So, and then we also have the cells. So the part of the cells we have the white blood cells. We have the red blood cells. So the white blood cells. So the white blood cells are also known as leukocytes. We can write that somewhere. Leukocytes. So the red blood cells are known as erythrocytes. And then we also have the platelets. Platelets are also like cells. So what the white blood cells does is that the white blood cells defend the body. The white blood cells defend the body. The white blood cells consist of what we call antigens and antibodies. So those antigens and antibodies, they defend the cells. They act as the immune system of the body. So if there's any foreign agent coming into the body, so they attack it. So unless
antibodies and antitoxins, actually.
Yes. So and thank you. So they attack foreign agents. They defend the body unless they are overpowered. Like in the case of when a person has HIV. So where the viruses, what they do is that they overpower the white blood cells and then they make them deficient in such a way that the body of that person is now open to different diseases. So once the white blood cells are overpowered, so if the viral load is very high, so it overpowers the white blood cells, and then the white blood cells will not be able to defend the body against external attack or diseases. Then the red blood cells, known as the erythrocytes, they transport oxygens. So take note of that. So the red blood cells transport oxygen. So the red blood cells consist of a pigment. That pigment is known as hemoglobin. So hemoglobin is the pigment that makes our blood to be red. That's what makes the blood to be red, and it is the pigment that carry. The hemoglobin is the pigment that carries the oxygen and transports the oxygen around the blood. So the hemoglobin has high affinity for oxygen. So when there is oxygen in the blood, so we call it the oxygenated blood. And when there's no oxygen in the blood, we have the what? Deoxygenated blood. And so we can have oxygen-rich blood and we can have oxygen-poor blood. So the hemoglobin has high affinity for oxygen. And in a case where there is shortage of oxygen, where we have a gas like carbon monoxide also has high affinity for hemoglobin. So people that are inhaling smokes that contain carbon monoxide, so the carbon monoxide combined with the hemoglobin, and if it is up to a certain quantity in the blood, so it can lead to death. it can lead to death because the carbon monoxide will be displacing the oxygen, and then if oxygen is not circulated around the body, it can cause death. So we have seen some of the components of the blood. So we have the plasma, which consists of solutions of different ions and the rest in the body, in the blood. So we want to look at the functions of the circulatory systems now. There are 4 basic functions of the circulatory system. I hope you have taken note of this. I want to rub off the board. Let's quickly do that. So write this. We want to look at the 4 functions. Okay. So we want to look at the 4 functions of the circulatory system. So the number 1 function of the circulatory system is transport of oxygen. Transport of oxygen around the body. The second function is nutrient and waste transport. And then the third function is temperature regulation. Temperature regulation. And then the fourth function is hormone circulation. So these are the 4 functions of the circulatory system in the body. So the first one is transport of oxygen around the body. We know the importance of oxygen. So oxygen is needed. So during respiration, we inhale oxygen and we exhale carbon dioxide or CO2. So the oxygen needs to be taken around the body. So the blood, the circulatory system performs that function and then releases the CO2 out of the body. So in other words, what is not needed in the body is released, while what is needed in the body is absorbed. So that's the same thing with, forgiveness in life. So when you are relating with people and you are bitter and you don't want to forgive, it's like you are keeping something that you don't need in your system. And that is dangerous to your health. Imagine trying to keep the CO2 in your body, in your system, and without releasing it. So when you breathe in, you are taking in the oxygen, and then when you breathe out, you are releasing the CO2 because the CO2 is not needed in your system. It's needed somewhere else. So you have to release it. For instance, the plants, they need the CO2. So what is a waste product for the plants is something that is needed by the animals or organisms. So while the plants take in CO2 and use it for their photosynthesis process to manufacture food. So oxygen is a waste product, is a byproduct of photosynthesis. And that oxygen is what is actually needed by us. And when you look at the air, which is a mixture of gases, so the air consists of close to 21% of oxygen, while the air consists of 0.03% of CO2. because there are a lot of plants around us that need the CO2 and that are making use of the CO2 from time to time to manufacture food. So, the way the whole of nature and life is designed is circulatory, is circular in nature. So that's why we have different cycles in life. So we have life cycles, you have water cycles, you have oxygen cycles, you even have menstrual cycles for the lady. So you have cycles. Even for businesses, for organizations, you have cycles, because all of life is designed in cycles. Whatever goes round comes around. So circulatory system let us understand the transport of oxygen around the body and then in life. So the second function of the circulatory system is the transport of nutrients and waste around the body. So nutrients that the various body organs need. So the blood transports it around. So for instance, if a person is reading, there are over 14 billion brain cells in the brain, and so each of those brain cells, they are acting like microprocessors. They process bits of information, so that's one need to take in or put in memory bank. So if the blood does not take nutrients and blood if the heart or the circulatory system does not take the needed nutrient to those cells, so those cells will not be able to process information properly. And when we have condition like a stroke, it is that the blood is not properly being taken to the appropriate part of the brain, and so it's shut down some of the systems of the body and the operation of the body. The brain has the left side and the right side. So the left side of the brain is controlling the right side of the body, or the right side of the body, the right hand, the right leg. So while the right side of the brain is controlling the left side of the body. So blood has to be taken, and nutrients has to be taken to every part of the body, particularly the brain, which is the central part of the central nervous system that distributes the blood and nutrients around the body, and waste that are not needed. So the circulatory system also transports it, so that the excretory system organ can take that waste outside the body. So the third function of the circulatory system is temperature regulation. Temperature regulation. So the circulatory system also regulates the temperature of the body. Who can tell me the normal temperature of the human body for somebody that is healthy? What should be the temperature of the body? Yes? Who can tell me? For a person that is healthy.
Degrees.
No, not 28 degrees. Yes.
Sir,
No, who can tell?
Is it like 30 degrees? 38?
You are very close.
37.
37, correct. It's 37. It's 37. 37 degrees Celsius. So that's but the range of the temperature for the human body is between 35 to about 40 or 42. So once it's above that range, it can lead to death. You understand? So that temperature has to be regulated. So between 35 degrees Celsius. Yes. Somebody is saying something?
Oh, it's me.
Okay. So between
1 minute, sir.
Okay, sir.
Daniel,
okay.
If you are in this class in the next 5 minutes, disappear on people. Is that one not clear to you? You think with your teacher, you are off video. Daniel, are you ready or I'll take you out?
Sir?
So it should be on video.
I didn't hear you.
Please be on video.
Be on video. Be on video. So that we can see your face. So that we can know that you are part of this class. Okay. Okay. So,
In this class, you have 5 minutes to put yourself together, and you're on video. You're not on video. Okay, perfect.
okay, sir. Thank you, sir. So, the temperature range of the blood is from 35 to like 42 degrees Celsius. So that's the range. But the normal temperature of the body and of the blood should be 37 degrees Celsius. So, but we also have that range. So if a person is sick or diseased, so it functions between that range. So once it is out of that range, because temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness of the body. Once it is outside the range, then that is not healthy for life again, because it is in the blood that we have the life. So for healthy life, so that temperature range has to be maintained. Then the last function of the circulatory system is hormone circulation. Hormone circulation. Hormones are chemical substances that are secreted from one part of the body and transported to the other part of the body where it is needed. Hormones, I expect you to be taking notes also too, because there's a lot of notes in science that we cannot be writing on the board. So as I'm explaining, so I expect you to also be taking notes. And part of your assignment, you are also going to there are some videos that you still need to go and watch, tutorial videos, so that you can take notes of some important terms, terminologies regarding circulatory systems, and some important definitions. Because you can be asked in your exams or tests, you can be asked some of the meaning of this. So hormones, let me come again with the definition of hormones. Hormones are chemical substances. Hormones are chemical substances that are secreted from one part of the body and transported to another part of the body where they are actually needed. They are secreted from one part of the body and they are transported to another part of the body where they are needed. So hormones are chemical substances, and there are different types of hormones. There is a whole topic on that, but some of the examples of hormones in the body, so we can have auxin, we can have adrenaline hormone. So these are some examples of hormones in the body. We can have adrenaline. We can have estrogen. We can have testosterone. So these are testosterone. So this is RONE. So etc. So there are many hormones in the body that are secreted. So these are just some examples, like auxin, adrenaline. We have oxytocin hormone. So we have growth hormone. We have hormones that are for growth. We have sexual hormones. So we have hormones for different functions in the body. So these hormones are circulated around the body by the circulatory systems. And so this is one of the functions of the circulatory system. So today, we have been able to look at the circulatory system, the meaning of the circulatory system. So as we are concluding the class, who can tell me again what is a circulatory system? Some of the basic things we have learned in today's class. What is a circulatory system? Yes.
A circulatory system is like a roadway network that connects different organs in the body.
Good. So it's a roadway network. It connects different organs in the body. When you look at the picture of the human body, you see so many, circuits, veins, so like wiry connections around the body. You understand? So that's the circulatory system. You find it from the head to the what? To the feet. So that's circulatory system. Good. Yes. Who can tell me the three component part of the circulatory system is?
Me.
You want to tell me? Yes.
There are the heart, the
The
blood
heart,
vessels,
the blood vessels,
and the blood.
and the blood. Correct. And the blood. Correct. So who can tell me what is the volume of the blood in the human body, in a healthy human body? The volume of blood. Yes. Who
Um,
can? That's what. Okay, Daddy want to tell me.
4.5 liters.
4.5 liters. So that's the volume of. Well, thank you. So he got it. So 4.5 liters. Then, how much of the body mass? How much percentage do we have that the blood takes? 8%.
8%.
Correct. 8%. Correct. Then, what are some of the things that we can find in the human blood? In the blood, what are some things that we can find in the blood? Yes. The components of the blood. Yes. You want to tell me? Yes. I'm listening to you. Yes.
Yes, Inolua.
Yes. Inulua, you were signifying. I thought you want to talk. What component of the blood? Yes.
Cells of plasma.
Plasma, correct. What else do we have in the blood?
Cells, like white blood cells, also known
White
as
blood cells. Yes, correct.
red blood cells.
Red blood cells. Okay. And we also have platelets. So platelets. So those are some of the components of the blood. Who can tell me what is the pigment that makes our blood to be red? I hope you know that there are some organisms that their blood is not red. Emo what? You have an idea? Can you complete it?
So
What?
is it hemoglobin or something?
Hemoglobin. So hemoglobin, that is the component of the blood, the pigment that makes the blood to be red. And that hemoglobin is rich in iron. So that's why most of the blood tonic you get consists of iron or ferrite. So the chemical symbol for iron is this Fe. So if you buy any blood tonic and there is no iron there, so it's not a proper blood tonic. So because that hemoglobin is rich in iron, so and it makes the blood to be red. It also carries the oxygen in the body. So we have learned about that. Yes, what are some of the functions of the circulatory systems that we have learned today? We learned about 4 of them. Yes, who can tell me? Without looking at your notes. Yes.
Transports oxygen around the body.
So it transports oxygen around the body. Yes. Another function. Who else want to try? Yes. Hormone circulation. Yes. Which other function does the circulatory system?
Temperature
Sir, is there
regulation.
temperature resolution? Abi?
Regulation. Temperature regulation. It regulates the temperature of the body. So who can define temperature for me? What's temperature?
The hotness or coldness of the body.
Degree of hotness or coldness of the body. So you got it. You have an idea. So that's temperature. And what's the temperature range of the human body for life?
37 degrees.
So 35 to 42 degrees Celsius. So this is the range. Then for the normal body temperature, that is 37.
37.
So take note of that. That's 37. But the range of the temperature of the, so that's why if somebody has fever and the temperature is very high, you understand? Because once that temperature exceeds this range, it can lead to death. And so that's why, before they treat such a person, they use the thermometer to take, the temperature, to know the temperature of the body. And then they look at treatment they can give to the person so that the temperature can be normalized again. So, in today's class, we have been able to learn about circulatory system, to have idea of the organ in our body that pumps the blood. And then in the short video we watch, we talked about the contraction of the heart and then the expansion of the heart. The contraction of the heart is called what? There's a term that is called, yes? Who can remember? The contraction. If you listen to that video, the contraction is called systole. Systole. And then the expansion is called diastole. So take note of this term. So you may need to, so part of your assignment, you are going to check for some YouTube videos, like 3 YouTube videos. So we have created a new class. So that's the biology class for this class on Google Classroom. So make sure you forward your email address on the digital platform of the church or to Bosfari so that it can add you to the class. It will give you the class code. So I want to see all of you there. So your assignments are already there. So when you get there, you will see some of the assignments. So watch some of those videos and then you are going to, in few words, so not less than 100 words, explain some of the things that you learn from the video. So submit your assignments, it will be graded. So you have within less than 24 hours to be able to do that. So search for some videos on circulatory system. So that deepens your understanding the more. So I hope we have learned something today.
Yes, sir.
I can say that in the last few minutes I learned some things.
Okay. Can you share some of the things you learned in the last few minutes? You came late to class. Tell me some of the things.
I learned auxin, adrenaline,
Okay.
estrogen, testosterone, different types of hormone.
Hormone, they are called hormones. Okay.
They're called hormones.
Okay.
Components of the circulatory system are the heart, the blood vessels, and the blood. And the volume of blood in the body is 4.5 liters.
Okay, that's great.
I also learned that blood takes up 8% of the body mass.
Yeah, that's great. So that shows you are really following. So let's have that concentration in class, and then when we come to class like this, let's sit properly. Let's see your faces, so it shows that you are following. So that's very important. So go to the Google Classroom, so you will get information about your assignments and then the due date when you are supposed to submit your assignment, because we always put a time limit. After that time limit, you can't hand in your assignment again. So make sure you go there. So God bless you and have a great night rest today. God bless you.
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
God bless you. Bye.
Everybody wait. So need to go now.